Om Bhurбhuvasvaham Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayantam. So Saram everyone, we continue our videos on our beloved Swami Sri Sathya Sai, and this video dedicated to the very interesting topic, which is what actually Sathya Sai told us about Jesus the Christ. And I think that this topic is very important not only for the Christian side devotees, but actually for everyone, because Sathya Sai tradition is about oneness of all religions. It means whatever we can know more about Krishna, Rama Avatar, or Jesus the Christ, Buddha, or Prophet Muhammad, any global world teachers, that's huge for us. So every year in the ashram, Prashanti Nilayam, Sathya Sai ashram, on December 24th and 25th, so it means Western Christmas, was celebrated. And let me mention that according to the Greek Orthodox Church and Russian Orthodox Church, actually Christmas is celebrated on January 7th and 8th. So it means just exactly approximately couple of weeks later. So it's a long historical background behind this difference, but because in the beginning, back in 60s, in the 70s, there are many American and European devotees, Christian devotees came to put parties. So the tradition of Christmas celebration was according to the Western style, and later on in 90s, of course, more Russian Christians came to the ashram. But ashram tradition is a Western style Christmas, which is not the beginning of January but end of December. And every year, I believe since maybe middle of 60s, Sathya Sai delivered at least 2, sometimes 3 discourses dedicated to Jesus Christ, his life, message, philosophy, etc. So it means on December 24, 25, sometimes even 26. So it means, can you imagine? All that years, twice or thrice a year, Sathya Sai gave his wonderful, brilliant, divine discourses exactly about Jesus. So it's a huge message. Well, Jesus Christ preached the unity of all mankind, love for one's neighbor, direct communication between man and God, and the original unity of the soul with God. Jesus Christ taught his disciples that true worship of God takes place in the depths of the spiritual heart. So that seems pretty Vedic message. Sathya Sai supported this opinion or idea that most probably Jesus Christ spent something like 15 years in India learning Vedic and Buddhist and Jain philosophy and meditation, and it's happened between his age, something like 14 years old, till the maybe 29 or 30 years old. So we don't have information from New Testament about what's happened with our Master Jesus the Christ between the age of 14 and till the age of 29. So now we have more and more evidence about really very challenging idea that he actually received his education in India. And Sathya Sai Baba said number of times that in a Tibetan manuscript, which are kept in a monastery in Himalayas, there is information that Jesus Christ spent several years in northern Himalayas, in Kashmir especially. In those days, Jesus was called Isa, which means the Lord of all living beings. Actually, the information about this so-called mysterious manuscript, came into public, discussion started actually in the end of 19th century, and the Russian journalist Nicholas Natovich, he published, in the end of 19th century, in France actually, he published his first and only book about this research, about this mysterious text, this book written in Tibetan language. Most probably this book is a translation from more ancient source, maybe Pali language, maybe from any other language, and in that ancient short scripture we have information about that Jesus, whom at that time people call him in India Isa. So actually he really spent few years in Kashmir. But information which we have from different sources, including Paramahamsa Yogananda, the most famous Kriya Yoga master, I believe, and that also Jesus actually started his education in east coast of India, in an ancient holy city of Puri, the place of Jagannath Puri temple, and according to the Yogananda, actually that was the first step, and then later on Jesus shifted to the Kashmir area, etc. And of course, the fact that Sathya Sai Baba supported this version that Jesus Christ lived and studied in Himalayas is extremely important for the deep understanding of the teachings of Jesus Christ himself, because classical approach to the philosophy of Jesus is that his source is Old Testament books. In Hebrew language we call it Tanakh, but also Old Testament. But actually, when we consider possibility, at least, that he spent years in India, it means that source of his philosophy, Jesus' philosophy, is not only ancient biblical books, but also Vedic scriptures and even Buddhist scriptures. And according to my opinion, just my opinion, it's visible actually that Christianity has not only biblical roots, but to a great extent came out of Vedic philosophy and Buddhist moral principles. If you study Old Testament and then New Testament, it's really visible huge difference. Connection is there, but difference is also there. And we as the modern people, we can study different sources, and including Vedic and Buddhist scriptures, and then we easily can see that glimpses from Vedic and even Buddhist culture and philosophy. That's obvious even without so-called mysterious manuscripts from Kashmir. Just you take New Testament, compare it with Old Testament, and you can easily see huge philosophical difference. Let's ask such an important question. Where did Sathya Sai get his information about Jesus the Christ from. Okay, sometimes he spoke in detail about Jesus as if he himself, Sathya Sai himself, had witnessed all the events of the distant past. That's actually a huge question. We, as the scientifically oriented people, we can, just ask this question, obviously, wait a moment, but what is the source of this information, for Sathya Sai himself? And that's crucial point, because Sathya Sai is an avatar, so divine incarnation, and therefore all, even the most hidden events of the past, present, and the future are open to his all-pervading consciousness. So it means when he is speaking about in his lectures, about so many details of spiritual life and transformational journey of Jesus, that's actually the point, that Sathya Sai, he knows it because he is the divine incarnation. That's the reason why it's really important. And for example, Sathya Sai Baba told several stories about how, after the death of his father Joseph. Okay, normally we say that Jesus the Christ, he is Son of God. So, but according to the human standards, okay, his father was Joseph, as we know from New Testament. And Sathya Sai told us that after the death of Jesus' father, Joseph, the teenage Jesus worked for some time as carpenter. Sathya Sai said that Joseph died when Jesus was a teenager. Oh my God, we don't have this information in the Bible, but we have this information from Sathya Sai. At the early age, Jesus worked as the carpenter in and around Nazareth. Because of his spiritual quest, he made his journey to India. That's the message from Sathya Sai. And also very interesting, Sathya Sai Baba repeatedly mentioned the high spiritual level of Mary, the mother of Jesus, several times. Sathya Sai shared about Mary's dedication to the spiritual education of her son, Jesus. Oh my God, all that information we don't have actually in Gospels. And then the young man, Jesus, when Jesus decided to leave home and go to India for spiritual education, he received the blessing of his mother. Actually, that's the picture of early life of Jesus from Sathya Sai. And actually, Sathya Sai told us also quite many times that Jesus was really involved into meditation, spontaneous meditation. He was always staying somewhere alone, in the outside of the village. And Mary, his mother, supported his spiritual quest. So amazing information, and of course, it's depend on how you personally approach Sathya Sai. And obviously we as Sai devotees, we know that Sathya Sai is avatar of our age. That's the reason why that's the most authentic source about whatever we can speak about. And of course, such amazing details about early life, childhood, and of Jesus is possible only from Sathya Sai himself. Okay, Well, amazing topic. I think in the future, for sure, we'll continue this discussion. I just see my book, next chapter number 15. Yeah, that will be next video about all that different stages and different steps of spiritual evolution of Jesus. And again, how can we know about it? From our beloved Swami Sri Sathya Sai, how, was all that, amazing spiritual transformation took place heaven in the heart of Jesus child, Jesus young man, and how he actually became global teacher, how Jesus became whom we know as the global teacher, because he went through that huge spiritual transformation, and no information about this in New Testament, so we can know about it only from the source, which is Sathya Sai. And let me repeat again and again, for me as the Christian, that not diminishing Jesus and the New Testament, which is easily my favorite book, of course, with Srimad Bhagavatam, as of course, naturally, I like both of them, Bible and Bhagavatam, but actually all that extra pieces of information which we have from Sathya Sai just enrich our understanding. It's not diminish Bible or Jesus. No, it just gives us extra information, which is very important for everyone, not only for Christian Sai devotees, but just for everyone. Sai Ram, see you next time.
Om Bhurбhuvassuham Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayantam